In this video, we're going to take a look at drilling holes. Here you can see that I've created a few circles here and I want to drill them. Now, if you take a look at the sizes of these, if I click there, then the bottom right hand side, it gives me the size of these. So you can see that these are some random sizes. So this is 0.134. Okay, now I'm going to say that this is actually going to be an 1/8 of an inch hole, and you can see here that this one is a 0.16. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that all of the holes around the outside are actually going to be drilled with a 1/8 of an inch end mill. Okay, now to do this, it's very, very easy. If I go to toolpaths and then down here we have create drilling toolpath. So if I select that, and then I'm going to select all of the vectors except for that one. Okay, and then the finished depth is 1/4 of an inch. The reason being is that I've got my material set up to be 1/4 of an inch. So again, set up your material Z0. If you set it up to be at the top of your material, then obviously it's this button at the top. If you set up your Z0 to be on the wasteboard, then set it to be at the bottom there, and just enter your material thickness. Don't worry about model position, it's only for 3D. So select OK, and I'll zoom in again and select a tool. So the most important thing to remember about the drilling toolpath is that it's just going to place a center point in all of these holes. So it doesn't matter what diameter those holes are, it matters what diameter tool you're going to use. Okay, so I could be drilling this larger hole and using, let's say, an 1/8 of an inch tool, and it would still only drill an 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so it just spots it in the center. So if I use an 1/8 of an inch end mill, click select, and I'll just use the default values to start with. So select calculate now. So you can see there that all that this has done, it's just created a circle with a crosshair in it. So it's just going down in the center of these vectors. Okay, so if I were to simulate this, you can see that I've got these holes. Okay, and they're all the same size, all an 1/8 of an inch. So if I go back to the 2D view, now what happens if, let's say for instance, let's turn that off, I didn't have a circle. So let's node edit this and make it not a circle. Okay, so you can see that that one is just not a circle. Now that's not a problem, because what we can do is, if I select them all, if I were to machine this now, it will only do those ones. It will ignore this one. The reason being is that's not a circle. So if I select all selected vectors or all selected nodes, calculate now, it will place a drill point in the center of this vector that I have here. That's the difference between using these options. You can also use peck drilling. So what this does, it will come down to a depth and then retract back up. So a lot of the time, to get rid of swarf or stop the end mill clogging up, stop it generating heat as well. So I'll just turn that off. And then we're going to take a look at this center hole. Now this center hole is quite large. So if I select it, take a look down the bottom right hand corner, you can see that this hole is 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Now if I were to try to drill this, if I select a tool, you can see that the largest tool that I have is a 1/2 inch tool. So the largest that I could drill this is 1/2 inch. So what you would do in this instance is use whatever tool that you wanted and do a profile on the inside rather than drilling this. just to clear that away. Now, the trouble is with doing that is that you would leave a small piece on the inside and it would probably fly out of the material. So if you are worried about that, then do an area clearance down to the depth and it would just remove all of that material. Okay, so that's how you would do something like that. Now, another nice thing that you can do with the drilling toolpath is if I zoom out, and then let's have a look under my vector layers. So you can see under my vector layers, I've actually created a whole sheet of these. So if I turn that off and turn these on, you can see that I've got this sheet, okay? And I've got lots and lots of drill holes. Now, the good thing about the toolpaths is that you can assign these to layers. So it saves me having to select all of these holes. So if I go to drilling again, and then rather than selected vectors, I choose which ones I want. So let's say the 1/16 of an inch holes, and then calculate. And it automatically drills all of those holes. If I go into the drilling again, and then select a tool again, and then let's say the 1/8 of an inch holes, it would drill all of those holes. Okay, so if you select a layer down here, it will automatically machine whatever is on that layer. Okay, so if I delete the simulation and then just simulate all of this again, you can see that I've got all of my holes. Okay, so that's how you use the drilling toolpath.